Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video, and as you can see by the title, this is the knitting series part 2. Now in today's video, it's all going to be about the knitting needles, your yarn, and your knitting accessories, just like accessories in general that you will need even if you do crochet. But this is what you're going to need for your life to grow. So we're going to start with the knitting needles first, because I feel like that's like most important. I feel like everything is most important here, but you don't want to buy just any knitting needles. You can to start off with if you can't really afford it, but the ones that I have, I feel like you can afford. Now, to be honest, this one right that I have in my hand is the most expensive one that I have bought, but of course I have y'all. I know people can't afford like the high expensive things. I understand, and I'm gonna put everything that's like much more lower price in the description below. I have the lower prices ones too, but they're literally everywhere. They're not in like the plastic that it came in. So yeah, the ones that I have that's at a lower price is gonna be in the description box below, or I will put a picture of it so y'all can see what it looks like as well. So I have got pretty much all of my knitting accessories I got from Amazon. Okay, Amazon is it. Like, you can like support like people's website and things, or like other things, but they cost so much more. So if you don't got it like that, then go to Amazon. Okay, everybody goes to Amazon for everything. So this is called Knitter's Pride, and I love their brand of yarn. I pretty much have like most of the same knitting needles from the same brand. So okay, let's do that over. So when you open it up, this is the top and this is the bottom. It's like a book pretty much, and this is all of the needles. I know I have some missing because I'm always like switching out my knitting needles and things like that, and this is exactly what it looks like. They're really pretty. I love the brown that it has, and also it has like this little pocket here with the circular part inside. Now, circular needles are literally your best friend, especially when you're like a new knitter and you don't really like know which one to buy. I know people use like the double knitting needle. So yeah, people buy these as well, but honestly the circular needles is way more better. I only used this in my last video just for the tutorial just to show y'all in like a better view of like how to start off like the basis of casting on and knitting. That's the only reason why I use these, but other than that I will never use these on like a regular day basis because it's very uncomfortable and it hurts my hand. And like when I'm knitting with these, when I first started off with it, like it feels like I'm like trying to master something that I already know how to do. Like this makes me look like a very beginner. Like, it's so weird. So circular needles is the best way to go, and you will love it. It's more comfortable. You can like sit more properly and things like that. Okay, so next is the yarn. So I'm going to share the expensive yarn, in my opinion, and the more affordable yarn. Okay, I'm going to share both because some people like good taste in yarn, and some people just like, okay, we're going to start off with this, okay, and then we're going to work our way up. So we're going to start off with the expensive yarn first. So as you can see here, I have Wool and a Gang, HipKnitShop. This is Cheeky Chunky, Wonder Fluff, and Weareknitters. Now, I guess I could grab anyone. So this is from Weareknitters. I feel like Weareknitters is the most expensive company from my understanding and my knowledge. Well, no, I'm not going to say from my knowledge. I know it's way more expensive yarns out there, but from what I buy, Weareknitters have been the most expensive yarn company that I have like bought yarn from like what I'm into and the yarn that catches my attention. This is the most expensive yarn, okay? This ball of yarn, I think is like, I haven't bought from them in a while, but the last time I bought this was like $15. One ball was $15. I don't know what it is now. I can't really say because I haven't bought from them in a really, really long time. But the year that I bought it, probably like, what, 2021 or 2022, I bought this. Yeah, this has to be like $13 to $15, okay? Plus tax, okay? And that's the thing too. If you really, really want like yarn, you have to make sure you really, really want to buy it. Now, I have to advocate for this. This yarn is worth it. To be honest, this yarn is worth it. I have a sweater that I made with this yarn, and it is still good. I think I made the sweater in 2022. It's still good today, like 2 years later. I can tell that it's going to last for many, many years to come because of the quality of the yarn and how they made it. So I think that's why they have like, they price their yarn at like a higher price. But it's so worth it, to be honest. Like, you won't be upset about it at all, in my opinion, okay? So I also have this cheeky chunky yarn. I had got this from, I think, HipKnitShop. Now HipKnitShop, you get good, whoa, not HipKnitShop, sorry, Hobby Yarn. Hobby Yarn. Now Hobby Yarn is kind of affordable and expensive at the same time, in my opinion, okay? So I got this from Hobby Yarn, and I was going to do like a pattern with this. Like, it was like a half and half vest. I still might do it, to be honest. And I think this was like maybe $8 or $10 for one. I can't really remember. If I can go back and find the yarns, I will like put it up on the screen so y'all can see it, okay? So yeah, this one is from HipKnitShop. Very expensive yarn. I think I paid like maybe eight. I think it was like, it has to be like six something, or like close, or 8. Yeah, I haven't bought yarn in a while because I have so much of it, so please forgive me if I don't remember the prices, but I do remember like the yarns being expensive, okay? Okay, now this yarn is for Will and the Gang. Honestly, y'all, Will and the Gang is probably my favorite yarn company thus far, because the reason why I said that is because they represent us black skin tone people. They do not discriminate, and I love that about the yarn company. Like, I be seeing girls that look like me on there, like dark skin and everything. Like, I appreciate that so much. And plus they have really good yarn on top of that. It's like a win-win, you know? And they also reach out to me. They reach out to me like a good 3 times to like do things with them and stuff like that. So I can give you guys some tips and things like that if y'all want to learn about that. So, and this yarn is, I think, $18. Yeah. And then we have this another chunky yarn from Will and the Gang. I already know for sure. I remember this price. This price is $24, okay? $24 for this chunky yarn. You can never forget about this price, okay? Now, lastly, this yarn is cotton yarn. I love this yarn. It's called Shiny Happy Cotton Yarn. And this is like in a mellow mauve. And this yarn is $13, I believe. I think I remember this one too. Now, that is pretty much all of the expensive yarns that they have. Now we're going to get into the ones that is like more affordable, which I don't have much of, but I have multiple colors of it. So this yarn is called Wonderful Fluff and Bulky Weight. It's like in a hot pink. And this yarn was probably like, maybe like $6 exactly for like one of these balls. And of course, we have the acrylic yarn. Everyone knows that acrylic yarn is your best friend when you're starting off knitting, okay? This is your best friend when you can't, like, I would say this is your best friend when you want to text out if you really want to like be about this knitting life or not. Okay, this is your best friend, like where you won't be disappointed that you bought the yarn and like you change your mind about knitting and you want to give it to somebody else, you know. So this yarn is like what, $4, and it's like four something, like $4.49. Okay, I love this yarn as also because it's nice and soft. Like this brand of yarn is called I Love This Yarn, which is so funny because I feel like so many people can vouch for this yarn. It's actually very, very soft. Every one of their yarns of like different colors, all of them are soft. I know like with the Kyran yarn, some of them are soft and some of them are not. So yeah, they just have different style yarns. But this yarn itself, this brand, all of the yarns is nice and soft. I like making hats with this yarn, okay? Alright, so yeah, I have this black yarn here, right? I do not recommend buying black yarn, especially if you're a beginner. First of all, I don't even use this black yarn because maybe if you use it with like a different color, I don't know, but as a beginner, I would not recommend black yarn because when you're using black yarn, you cannot see it. That's the only thing with black yarn. You cannot see it at all. But I don't even use it, y'all. So it's like, I don't even know why I bought this. Like, I might just sell this or something because I really don't use this at all. But honestly, y'all, I wouldn't recommend black yarn as a beginner. Okay. Alright guys, so now we're going to get into the fun accessories. And my favorite accessories are buttons. Buttons are like my go-to, my like love song, things like that. Now, if you're not into buttons, it's cool, but I'm telling you right now, if you ever make a cardigan and you don't have buttons on it, you're really missing out. Okay? Now, I love adding buttons with my cardigans. I feel like it just like complements the cardigan even more. It just makes it look even more better. Like do y'all agree? Now I have these huge buttons that I never used yet, and this is more for like my chunky yarn. If I was to ever make a cardigan with like chunky yarn, I have like a cardigan in my mind that I do want to make. It's really, really pretty, but we shall see about that. Okay, that's gonna be more like for my knitting podcast. I'm gonna talk about like my knitting like goals that I have coming and like fun things like that, you know. We're bringing back the knitting podcast. Okay, also this is so important to have your measuring tape. If you don't have a measuring tape, please go buy one like now. If you get your knitting needles, get a measuring tape as well. Even if you don't have yarn yet, just get those two things, okay? Even if you buy this first, get this first if you can't really afford like the expensive yarn and you want to like try it out. Get this first, okay? So you're going to get this. You're going to buy knitting needles. I'm going to have the more affordable ones in the description box below. And you're going to get a measuring tape, okay? Trust me, this measuring tape is going to be your best friend. It's going to help a lot. Help a lot, okay? We love measuring tapes. It's a part of the family, okay? And last but not least, this is all of my knitting, like, my stitch markers, my knitting holders, my, what do they call these things? I always forget. Like, it's like these little things you, like, you weave in your yarn with this. I always forget the name of this. They call it like, I guess, a needle? I don't know. But yeah, I have like stitch markers that like helps you remember where you're supposed to like leave off, or you don't forget where. It just depends on what you're making, to be honest. And I also have like the round ones. Like if you're making like a top down knitting item, that's like advanced. But these are like the little circular ones that I have here. It's like, it like helps you remember, like, okay, I gotta increase here, I gotta decrease here, like things like that. And these are like the cool stoppers that I have. Let me just take a few out so I can see it more better. So these are stoppers. I have like a pound one, like, you know, like that, like a fist one. I have like a 5 one. It has 2 on it, but they're like pretty much all at the bottom. So these are the stoppers. So say for instance, let me take out a needle real quick so y'all can see it more better. I'll just take out like any one. So say for instance, like you have like your yarn or your knitting needle with a circular needle, right? And you're afraid that the yarn might fall out where it's like all the way down, but you want to make it more secure and safe. All you do is put like your I would call this like a stopper, and you just put it right there. Okay, it's gonna look just like this, to where your yarn is more secure on your circular needle, just in case like you pull it the wrong way, or you have like a child and they like get to it, where you have a better chance of like it being safe with this. They have like really cool different ones, things like that. This is like a rectangle, I mean a triangular one. It reminds me of like a tree. So we have that as well. It's like fun, cute accessories you can buy. You gotta just look through like on Amazon and just see what catches your attention. So things like that. And yeah, I just have a lot of different things in here. It's just to help, like, you know, make sure you have everything you need to complete your project, and like just help you along the way, things like that. So I think that is all for today. I hope y'all learned something new. I hope y'all learned something different in today's video. If you have any questions, or if you feel like I missed anything, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications to know when I always upload a new video. Now my new post days are Fridays. I feel like Fridays are working way more better for me. Okay, we love Fridays now. So I will see you in my next one. Bye.